r/AskReddit. What's a psych trick you love to use? I've noticed that people will let me do kind things for them if they think I'm doing it for selfish reasons. No, let me cook for you. I need to practice making this dish. I actually do this at work. I work at an In-N-Out, and one of my close friends absolutely hates cooking. Thing is, if I ask her if she wants to switch working positions, she says no, because it sounds like I am just doing it for her, which technically I am, but that's besides the point. What I started doing is saying I asked her if she wants to switch because I am tired of what I am currently doing. This way, not only does she get to stop doing something she doesn't want to do, it's also like she's doing me a favor at the same time. Under-promising and over-delivering at work. I also work at a mental hospital and it works with the people I work with. God, I'm so bad at this. Either I under-promise and then hype them up with hints because I did it right, or I under-promise and under-deliver on that promise because things went crazy at the last minute. Sometimes staying silent in a negotiation works in your favor. Silence often feels uncomfortable, so the other party will offer up something by filling the quiet space with words. I used it once to negotiate something with my boss. I stated my case. He hummed and ummed for a bit to himself. I remained silent and he relented. Had I filled that silence with more words, it could have given him time to think of a way to say no. My dad always used to say, the next one who talks loses. When asking a stranger for help, just cut right to the chase with your question request, then exchange some pleasantries after. What people tend to do usually is, hi, how are you doing? I'm so and so, hey, can I ask you for? It makes the introduction seem less genuine, like it was only to ease your way into something you need. Switching the order makes you come across more honest, and then shows you're actually interested in getting to know them or talking to them past whatever favor they're doing for you. Similarly, if you need help with something, say you just joined a group chat for some niche topic you need help with, don't say, hey, can anyone help me with a problem? And sit there waiting for a response. Use all the pleasantries you like, but please state the actual problem up front so people will actually know if they can help. Whenever someone is showing you around or demonstrating something to you, open your mouth ever so slightly. Doesn't have to be much, barely a centimeter is enough. It makes you look intrigued and fascinated by whatever it is you've been shown. Bill Clinton is an absolute master at this. I guess my resting face is one of fascination. Listening to someone without giving advice or pushing for more information typically nets me more information than being pushy for it. I'm just naturally a shy and quiet person, but still a decent listener, and I frequently end up doing this unintentionally and subconsciously. I generally only provide a minimum of input in a conversation because I'm too shy to say more, but I do always keep attentively listening. And somehow, that indeed seemed to cause people to say more than they originally intended to say. I tell my toddler that I really want to eat her dinner myself. This is broccoli. It's only for adults and big kids. You are too little. I statements rather than you statements. People generally feel on the offensive when you put something on them, especially when there's an issue. For example, you did this wrong. Can you try it again a different way? Putting the blame on them makes them feel like you are accusing them. Consider, I'm not sure if this is right. Can we try this again a different way? Lacks the assumed accusation and shows that you're in it together, not just criticizing them and then leaving. I try to implement it even when it's not a problem statement. Instead of let me know if you need help with anything else, I usually say let me know if there's anything else I can do to help. Symbolically takes the burden off of. When I worked at the grocery store, I did that all the time whenever I had to supervise the self-scan tiles. Instead of you can't put your purse there, I'd say the computer doesn't like it when you put your purse there. Instead of are you having trouble with the computer? I'd say is the computer giving you trouble? A subtle shift in language can make a surprisingly large difference. Don't make the customer feel dumb. Don't put the blame on them. Be their ally against the problem, and use humor when you can. After fixing the issue, I like to wag my finger at the computer and say, now behave yourself. That always got a laugh. I always smile when I see get approached by anyone, so they immediately think I'm happy to see them. Makes me a lot of friends and helps conversations start better too. I always smile when meeting new people, because I noticed I got more comfortable when meeting someone new if they were smiling. If a customer is angry, just let them talk until they finish. Don't interrupt, but do occasionally say things like okay and I understand, so they know you are listening. Make notes, and then once they're finished, summarize what they said. Most angry customers just want an affirmation that you actually paid attention to the reasons they were stuffed off. Once they get that off their chest, they're much more willing to work with you to resolve whatever issue they're having. If we have a follow-up call, I'll usually ask again about the things they were upset about on the previous call, and they're usually pleasantly surprised to know I actually remembered. You were right. Most just want someone to vent to. Afterwards they realize stuff happens. It is called deep listening. I really like asking people the time right after they have checked it. Most of them will check again. Interestingly, I heard it's because they're checking what time it isn't. So they don't retain what time it is, just that it isn't X time. When I'm having a deep, intense conversation with someone, and they're divulging things to me, I make sure my face doesn't react and just listen. I ask questions based on the information, many of them leading questions, and let them come to their own conclusions as to what to do about the situation. I also refrain from providing judgment about someone that person is talking about. At least until the story is over. My friends tell me I'm a great listener, and that makes me happy that they feel they can come to me and not be judged, schooled, scolded, etc. I use the Socratic method too. I refer to whoever I'm with by wacky nicknames that get progressively wackier over time. Don't be exactly half of an 11-pound Black Forest ham. If a customer is angry, I just agree with them until they calm down. I'm really angry that delivery times are more than a week. Oh, thought's a long time, I would be angry too. This is now my most upvoted comment, twice as many upvotes as my second most upvoted comment, which was 4 years ago. This morning I woke up to 70 new inbox posts and thoughts, the most I've ever had. I think the most I had before that was about 14 at one time. Thank you guys, you rock. Yup, you can de-escalate a lot of situations if you just acknowledge that the other person's emotions are valid. Won't totally fix everything, but it works way better than telling them to calm down or that there's no reason to get so mad. That's just going to stuff them off worse and make them dig their heels in. Edit for clarity, I wasn't just talking about customer service. I meant that in general, acknowledging someone's emotions and experience as valid can help prevent a conflict from getting worse. Ask people for things they want to do. Don't mind doing as if they're favors to you. As if you'll owe them after this. I think it has to do with Point 1. People like feeling useful. People like feeling like they've helped people, not necessarily because they're nice, but because ability to help implies some sort of power. Point 2. You give them opportunity to be nice. They'll feel more comfortable to converse with you because they did something for you. Like you're technically indebted to them. Like if you're very shy, you might feel like you don't deserve interaction or attention from the person. Complex. When you've done them a favor, you're kinda equal. It's a nice trick to get people to like you. Walking towards someone, look where you want to go and they'll move away. But more likely they will move to their right. Willing to bet this is true only in counties where people drive on the right side of the road. Asking someone to do me some small trivial favor before asking them for a major favor. The foot in the door effect. I also enjoy the door in the face effect, or eyeballing,